everybody, welcome back to Day-Today Chess. Yesterday I brought you a little bit in the past to check out the classics. The game between Pillsbury and Emanuel Lasker played in 1896 was shown to you by me. Today, even further in the past, the game between Johannes Zukertort and Joseph Henry Blackburne played in London 1883. Let's find out a little bit about Johannes Zukertort. He was born in Poland. He was one of the top players between 1870s and 1880s. He started playing chess late, yet he was familiar with so many things in chess. He actually became famous for having played the first match for the official World Championship title. Unfortunately, as you guys know, he is not remembered as one of the world champions, and that is because he unfortunately lost the match against William Steinitz. Had he not lost that match, probably the history of the world chess champions would have been changed. He started with 4-1 the match, but probably the tiredness and the stress was just big factors in his collapsing in the second part of the tournament. Also because the tournament the match actually took place for about 3 months, from January 11th until March 29th, 1886. And upon the conclusion of the tournament, after he lost the match, he just became very sick. So it was very devastating for him to have lost this match. He had a very painful death, unfortunately, yet we have to remember him as a great chess player, winning actually this tournament in London, England in 1883 with 22 points out of 26. I would say really prestigious and really important. Also, when you're playing first move knight f3, it is to Zukertort that you have to thank for, because he's the one who started out this knight f3 move. So don't think Reti, think Zukertort. And don't forget, aside from being a really great chess player, he's known for having been also a soldier, a linguist, a journalist, a musician, and a political activist. So definitely great personality and very knowledgeable about many things in this world. Joseph Henry Blackburne was a top player in the world. He was born in Manchester, and he was known by the name the Black Death. He was one of those players who beat the one who was going to be the first world official chess champion, William Steinitz, in 1862. And also, what I can tell you about him is that he came up with the idea that it is important to create chess clocks. On those times, they were still using hourglasses to play chess games. So, two very important personalities and big names in the world of chess. Let us check out their game and see if we can really learn a lot from it. And I think we can, but let's just check it out. So what do we have here? C4. So it's obvious that Zukertort didn't really want to allow this Nimzovich to be played. So bishop e2, we're kind of playing without d4. There's no point for black to develop this bishop in b4. Bishop b7 castle. And now black, it is time for black to put a pawn in the center. So Blackburne went for d5. Quite natural so far, I would say. And now white goes back to d4 ideas. So basically we have some kind of queen's gambit. This bishop is still won, maybe not that great, but obviously we will still have some possibility to later play b3, bishop b2. It's very typical for this type of positions. Nothing to be worried about that we have this bishop in c1. In fact, in this position, b3 would have been a possibility for white as well, with the idea bishop b2 and keep the bishop open. But these are just slight differences that don't make such a big importance in the game. I mean, obviously they would make a big change in how the game would go, but it's simply another plan that could have been chosen. This bishop d6 is okay. It's like natural to obviously develop the bishop on the diagonal. Knight c3 castle, b3. So far things are going okay, yet in this position black, in my opinion, made a mistake. Queen e7. Just blocking their bishop in d6, allowing this knight b5, which was immediately played by Zukertort, going for the pair of bishops. Although the position is closed, nobody says it has to remain that way. There are still tensions in the center, so white has the opportunity of opening it up as soon as he wants to. Knight e4. So basically, instead of queen e7, I would say black had to go either for c5 or maybe play a6 first. One of the two. You definitely want to make sure your bishop still has moves, and knight b5 is not going to be winning the bishop like it happened in the game. So that was the first mistake Blackburne adopted. Knight e4. It seems that we are trying with black to do kind of the Pillsbury plan with f5, but no. It didn't turn out that way. Knight takes d6. Here c takes d6, trying to maintain this knight in e4, not to allow white to open up the position. In case black would have captured with the knight, possibly we had here rook to c1 or maybe c takes d5 to make sure that the position would remain closed for this bishop in b7. Or if you would capture with the bishop, then I would have the opportunity to prepare to play some e4, so having basically the center with white. But Blackburne captured with the pawn. There's no need to worry about these double pawns because obviously one of them is going to be traded. Knight d2, we cannot suffer this knight in e4 for too long. We definitely want to play f3 and chase this knight away. So Blackburne wants to remain with the knight there, so goes knight d to f6. Trading pieces for black is really good because he lacks space. As you can see, this bishop, if this pawn in d6 wouldn't be there, maybe it wouldn't be that bad, but with the pawn here, it is a slight problem, so any piece that gets traded is really good. And here in this position, Zukertort went f3. A very interesting idea in this position would have been knight to b1. And the cool thing about this move is that we have some bishop a3 ideas. So in case black would be thinking to capture in c4 and play d4, well, that won't really work that much because we simply have bishop a3. Oops, I apologize. Going there for this diagonal. And does this knight d6 work? Of course not. We simply have c5. Then c6, winning material. So this knight in b1 is really great to go back there just to control the a3 square and get us ready to play bishop a3. Of course, black does not need to capture in c4, but then if you don't, I just want to play f3, chase your knight away without allowing you to trade my knight. If you haven't traded it immediately, now you won't be able to trade it. So this would have been an interesting choice, yet Zukertort went for f3, which is still good. Of course, black is happy with the trade, as I mentioned. Takes. With the bishop. With the bishop, we want to keep our pawn structure compact. Bishop takes c4. Now d5, trying to close the center, but that's alright. We will have some possibility to play e4 later on, so no need to worry in this position. And here, black brought the rook on the c file. Although it looks really great to have the rook on an open file, as we can see with these two bishops, this in b2, this in d3, the c file is totally controlled. So even if black doubles on the c file, nothing is going to happen there. So this was definitely not a very good choice by black. Rook a to e1, preparing some e4 stuff, and rook c7. I mean, really, there's no point for this doubling. As I said, a5 had to be played. Black should try to come up with some trading ideas, for example, bishop a6, or maybe queen to b4. In case queens get traded, the a file will open, so then black will start having some play. But right now, with the doubling on the c file, there's really not a good point for that. And here white found, of course, the natural breakthrough. Now natural, then I don't know how natural it was, but breakthrough in the center with e4, rook a to c8, e5. Good. Now we blocked the position even more, but we've got more center. We opened this bishop, and now we are going to prepare some f4, f5. This knight has to go back. Now f4. Oops, I apologize. Not queen f4, pawn f4. Okay, what's the idea now? Well, obviously we want to play f5. And not only that, we have in mind some kind of ideas with rook e3 or rook f3 and then rook h3 and putting pressure in h7, because that is a weakness in black's position. And here black had two choices: either play g6. Well, with g6, obviously the h file is still, you know, still a possibility for white to reach. It's very easy to reach, rook e3, rook h3. Instead of that, f5 probably was a better choice for black. Just directly, what's the point to play g6 and weaken the position more? Since the next move after g6, white brought their rook, and now black played f5. So this was just an extra weakness for black. And of course, e takes f6, knight takes f6, and here please take a moment to find a good, really good move for white. That move is f5, utilizing the weakness and the pin on the e files and the weakness in e6, and trying to open up the g file if possible. Of course, black cannot allow that to happen, so went knight e4 to keep this file at least closed, but not to worry. Bishop takes e4, d takes e4, what to do? And now you see when this pawn went away from there, immediately we have to notice this idea, d5 and queen d4. Just keep it in mind. That's really great. We liberate a square, and I've talked about this before. You're liberating one square for your piece, but in this case your opponent is liberating the square for your piece. So no, not you liberating for your own, but him liberating for you. And this is definitely a great idea for white to utilize later on in the game. But first, we are going for the attack. As you can see, the rooks have double there, but again, they have no entrances. We are the ones who are attacking, and it's of course time to open up the king. F takes g6, and here black went rook c2. Instead of this, had they played g takes h6, what do we play? Well, of course, just going for the attack. Rook to g3. Possibly bring the rook, this queen can come to h6. The winning is approaching for white. There's not enough material for black to defend. Queen g7 is not good, obviously, because of d5, opening up that bishop, and anything else basically. d5 is also a possibility, or rook f6. So black played rook c2 here, trying to stay more active, but we have, of course, g takes h7 check. King h8, of course you don't want to take in h7, this rook is coming, queen is coming, mate in two moves immediately after. And now remember I told you the d5 idea? It was played, definitely played here. Check, what do you do? Of course that capture would lead to some mates pretty soon, so black has to play e5. Now it seems that black has managed to keep his king protected, but not for too long. A very nice move was found here by white. Queen b4. Look at this beauty. And black played rook 8 to c5. Had he captured the queen here, we have, of course, bishop takes e5, king takes h7, check, and obviously king g8 would just be mated. So we don't go king g8, we try to go king g6. One more check, one more check, one more check. King where? Where do you go? h4. Simply mate. If you go to h6, well, don't worry. Oops, I apologize. That was the move. Rook to h5 mate. So very simple mate here for white. So black tried to close up the diagonal and, you know, keep their pieces really closed up so that white cannot capture an e5, but don't worry, white did find a way to finish this game. Check, king h7, another check, the queen comes back into play, bishop takes as well. Actually, instead of bishop takes, maybe rook g8 could have led to mate as well, but bishop takes is just very simple. Check, king g8, for example, and then queen takes c7, and mate is coming. I really hope you enjoyed this game, a definitely great attacking game. Stay tuned for more in the future. Bye!